Hello, everyone. Mary Gooden here, CEO and founder of Divine Destiny Mentoring and Publishing. And I am delighted to be interviewing Martha de la Garza Fowler today about her two books, All Parameters Are Estimable and Traipsing Through the Universe. Martha is a songwriter, composer, poet, and a lifelong creative whose work reflects resilience, wonder, and late blooming artistry. Born in 1952 in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, she began playing piano by ear at age 4. Through early criticism and stage fright led her away from music for many years. Martha was among the first women admitted to the University of Virginia in 1970 and later taught high school Spanish and special education.
Hmm.
After major neurosurgery in her 50s, she returned to music and began composing seriously. Today, she shares her work online as Dogwood Daughter and Lily Cat Music for Kids. Welcome, Martha. I'm so glad that we're here together.
Well, thank you for having me, Mary. I appreciate it.
Yes, I'm excited that we get to share with your audience a little bit more about the whys behind your two amazing books. So if you haven't went and got the books, go to Amazon today. You can find these amazing books. All parameters are estimatable and traipsing through the universe. Beautiful covers, beautiful back covers, really powerful work. So my first question, Martha, in general is what prompted you to write your first book, All Parameters Are Estimable?
Well, actually, all parameters were initially the rejects from traipsing. Traipsing through the universe was the original project. And it was not that I thought those poems were bad, but they were just a different timbre. So I separated them out, and I don't know why I published the rejects first, but I did. And actually, I think I may have had more response to all parameters are estimable even than traipsing, although traipsing is the one that seems much more personal to me. Um, why did I write them? Well, I have been scribbling by myself, usually in my bed in the mornings while I drink coffee, for many years now. And I turned 74 this year. And I just thought, you know, it's now or never. It is time to finish something, even if it is only for myself. And so I did. And then I self-published because, as I said, I'm 74 and I don't have time perhaps to submit and wait and whatever. So I just went ahead and published.
Well, I
So
want to celebrate you, first of all, for taking the calling and doing what you've done with it, putting your work forward into the world. It's a real calling to write a book, to share what you know, to share the poems, to share the stories, to share the music. It's a
mhm.
real calling. So I just want to say congratulations for taking a step that really only 2% of the population has been willing to take. So pat yourself on the back, love for
Thank
that.
you.
So in this book, we'll call it All Parameters for short. It
Mhm.
invites readers to embrace what is unknowable on the earthly plane while staying open to wonder, mystery, and the expanding revelations of science and mathematics.
Mhm.
It also offers a way of contemplating spirituality that is not confined by rigid answers,
Mhm.
but instead rooted in awe and wonder. So,
Mhm.
I mean, these are my kind of books, right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. Thank
what
you.
was, I think you're welcome. What do you think, Martha, what is your hope for all parameters are estimable for readers when it comes to them getting their hands on this book? What is one of your biggest hopes? Uh,
Well, I suppose um, maybe finding that it is all right rather than to stick to the security of dogma that has been taught perhaps by your parents or by society or whatever, that it is permissible to follow your own instincts and your own light and look for your own sense of the divine in everything around you, including in yourself. I think of it, I'm the daughter of a mathematician. So I think as we are probably everything here. We are all subsets of whatever the immense, all encompassing set is. And I look for the kinship, I think, of everything that is around me because I think we are all probably part of a larger set that is one. And I think when you start looking too, the evidence is everywhere. And also not to shirk uh, knowledge in science or mathematics that challenges your old beliefs because beliefs tend to be, well, they don't apply the mind. And I think we are given minds for a reason. And so it is not only okay, but even preferable to apply the mind not only to everyday life, but to what you choose to embrace as your own personal credo.
Beautiful. So well said. And, a large hope that life is happening right now as
Mhm.
we choose to see it through whatever lens we believe.
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
love, I think you might have your books next to you.
I do.
I would love for you to pick one of the poems, if you would, in parameters, all parameters.
Well,
And
I will read the first one because I think
okay,
that kind of introduces. I like the epigraph. Nothing exists except atoms in the void. Everything else is conjecture. That is Democritus, and I use that as my. But the first poem is two questions. Like an immense bubbling cauldron, the cosmos percolates with the invisible soup of dark matter. Stars, planets, whole galaxies scatter like glittering oyster crackers across the face of the deep. Answer me two questions, please. Who is the cook? How did I get in this recipe?
good. Yes, who is the cook?
Mhm,
That leaves us lingering there too for your own, right? For the reader to find their own
mhm,
answers to these fun questions and poems and to also witness, right? The lens that to also get a witness of themselves and the lens that they're actually looking at life through. I love it.
mhm.
All right, so when did this book launch? All Parameters launched or you published on
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember because I didn't do any like official launch or anything. I just sent the manuscript in, and I think when it was finished was
I feel like it was April of
I'm in the
2020.
fall. I don't remember. I think it was sometime back in the fall. But like I said, I didn't do any launch or anything, and when I published it, I only ordered like maybe 5 copies each so I could give them to my children and a couple of friends and my husband.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here
But
it is.
it has not been long, and I don't even know whether to call it a launch, just that that was when I finished the project.
It was April 1st of 2025. So
Well,
back
I'm
in
glad
April.
you looked that up.
Yeah,
It's,
well, this is,
gosh, it's been almost a year. It doesn't seem like it
can you
doesn't
believe?
to me, but
Yeah.
but time does really speed up when you get old. That is the truth.
Hmm. I'm feeling it even in this year. It's like, how did all this time go by so quickly? Well, I love having this book. I've been reading a couple of the stories, and it really is so thought-provoking and um, so simple in a way that the truth is so simple.
Hmm.
It just like as you said in the epigraph, this is what it is. There are nothing exists except atoms and the void. Everything is, oh, I need to put my glasses on maybe. Everything else is conjecture, right? It's
Yeah. And I think beliefs tend to be conjecture and that they do not usually have hard evidence.
mhm.
And I'm not saying that that is wrong because there's so much that we will never have hard evidence for. There's so much that is unknowable, but the unknowable is all right too, I think. It's just
Mm.
to be human is not to know.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautifully stated. It is. Let's look
Mhm.
now. So, thank you. Thanks for sharing a bit about this amazing book. Again, the rejects from the first book, but the first book to launch. So that's always fun. The universe has a funny way of having us take action and move forward.
It does.
So let's talk a little bit now so we'll talk about traipsing through the universe now. Both of these books are available on Amazon, so you can go look
Mhm.
them up through the title. Hopefully in the show notes or the links, we'll have the links to purchase these books below. But
They're
go ahead.
Mary, they're in at Barnes and Noble as well.
They're at Barnes. You can go to barnesandnoble.com and
Yeah.
look them up by
Mhm.
title.
Yes.
So for traipsing through the universe,
Uh-huh.
traipsing speaks to the beauty of becoming in one's own time. It reminds readers that it's okay to be a late bloomer,
Which I am.
to grow slowly, to mature at your own pace, and really to honor your own unfolding without trying to be what we're not, right?
Mhm.
Without an idea or an invitation to really look at our beliefs and to get more comfortable and a little bit more intimate with who you are or who we are. This book encourages readers also acceptance in aging, um, not something that we should resist, but something that's meaningful, a beautiful part of our journey. As you have said in different ways, and as I feel personally, that I'm just getting wiser by the day, and what a gift it is
Mhm.
to grow, to mature,
Yeah.
and to be able to witness this life up into this moment, this experience up
Mhm.
into this moment, whatever age we're in.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you, Martha, again, what message with traipsing through the universe? What is your hope that readers will also glean? I know I've already said some, but in your own words,
Mhm.
that they will glean from aging and timing and becoming.
Well, I think as you alluded, I have always been a late bloomer. Uh, I didn't marry my husband until I was 37. I didn't become a mother until I was 39, and then I had my last baby at 41. So I have always been behind other people. I'm not really sure why, and I used to feel that there was something wrong with me, that everybody else was moving ahead and I was not. And somehow, I guess, in the last maybe decade or so, I have realized that we all find our own way. Every journey is unique. And you do not have to be concerned about the opinions of others or your status in the outward world. I think every real creative impulse and a creative life comes from focus on the inner landscape and self acceptance. And so I think it comes from that. It also, I think, is a book about love as it changes as you get old and you get sick, or your partner gets sick. But there, and also the inevitability of loss that if that will come. When you get married, few people think, oh, inevitably, unless we go down in an airplane together, one of us is going to be widowed. But then when one of you has cancer and one of you has heart disease, you realize, yeah, inevitably there will be loss, but that's the price of loving someone. Every, nothing stays the same, and there are losses in life.
Hmm. Yeah, there are certainly, this whole experience is about change.
Yeah, exactly.
There were that every moment, every breath, every heartbeat, there is a shift, there is a change, both internally and externally. And
Mm-hmm,
yeah, don't hold back on love. Right.
mm-hmm,
That's probably, for me, that is probably the richest part of this experience because you're right. This all ends
yeah.
at some point. We don't know. Sometimes we're gifted a knowing, a little knowing through a doctor or through
Mm-hmm,
intuition, through God, through Creator, but to to tap in and to really grow with the changes and just keep tuning into love. That to me is just so rich.
mm-hmm,
And I would come back again and again, even if they said you're only coming back for 5 minutes. I would come
mm-hmm,
in just to feel the fullness of love. Oh,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you have this lovely book in front of you, I'm sure. So I would
Thank you.
love to invite you to share from Traipsing Through the Universe. This book became available on December. I think I just looked it up. I think it was December. Let's go again. December 1st, was it? December 5th.
I didn't know that myself. Well, I will read also one of the epigraphs in Traipsing Through the Universe. This is Harriet Beecher Stowe. So much has been said and sung of beautiful young girls. Why doesn't somebody wake up to the beauty of old women? I like that.
I like that too.
And I'll read the first poem, which is the title poem to the book. So, Traipsing Through the Universe. My old dog whines, and I reply, okay, let's get your leash. And we two friends slip out again to prowl nocturnal streets. We walk in blissful silence neath throngs of shining stars that lend their luster to the lawns and sleeping beasts of cars. We feast our eyes on starry gleam, pearlescent shafts of light that play among the galaxies in boundless beats of flight, and I lose track of time. She slows her pace as if to say, it's time to turn around. So we retrace the way we came through drowsy parts of town. Two tiny specks of dust, that's us, together, homeward bound, traipsing through the universe, our steps the only sound.
That's beautiful, Martha.
Thank
So
you.
beautiful. And and I'm just going to get really practical, right? To take that from the old dog that needs to go out more or needs to go out in the middle of the night, right? Things that we are going through and the lens that you have put that in is so beautiful. So
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
You. Thank you. I do want to come back to one thing. I want to share one thing before we start to kind of bring this in to a close. Of course, go to Barnes and Noble, go to Amazon, look for links under this video to get these delicious books. But this book right here, you have something very rich on the back. Abigail Thomas. She is an author of Safekeeping and most recently, Still Life at 80. Abigail Thomas is well known. You can tell us a little bit about Abigail, and then I want to read what she wrote about your book.
Well, I first met Abigail, I guess it's been about 10 years ago. I was at Barnes and Noble with my husband, and I had never bought, I don't think, a Poets and Writers magazine, but I picked one up and I was just flipping through it. And I saw an advertisement for a workshop in Colorado. with Abigail Thomas, and it said that she was the daughter of Lewis Thomas, who was an essayist that I loved. Had been one of my favorite writers. And I bought that magazine and I said to my husband, I'd like to go to this. And he said, well, then go. And so I did. And when I got to Colorado, I told Abigail, I've never really written anything, but I came to find out if I am a writer. And she said after the workshop, you are such a writer. And then I went to another workshop at her house in Woodstock, maybe a few years later in Woodstock, New York. And I just love Abigail's writing. And I love Abigail too. She's such a generous, wonderful spirit. And there's something about her writing that is so freeing and self accepting, I think, that every time I read it, I feel freer and more accepting about expressing myself in my own writing. And I had not heard from Abigail in a long time, and I had sent her a letter. I forget what about. And she had inadvertently lost it. She said she was looking for something and she found it under the seat of her rocking chair. So she wrote me an email right away. She said she had just found the letter and she said, I want to know what you're doing right now. This is this is Abby who loves you. So I wrote back, well, I had just sent all parameters into the to Ingram to publish, and I said, well, I'm just about to publish a book, and I'll send you the manuscript if you would like it. She said, send it right now. And then a few hours later, I got an email from her, and she said, Martha, this is profound literature. Do you need a blurb? And I called her and I said, I would love to have a blurb, but I don't know if I can recall it and keep and redo the back cover. Well, as it turned out, I could. And to me, I mean, that was one of the most thrilling things about publishing this book. I was so thrilled to have a blurb from Abigail Thomas on the back of my book because she is a truly stellar writer. She was a New York Times notable book author in 2006 for, I think that was for A Three Dog Life.
Mm.
Um, but anyway, so that's how I know Abigail because I sought her out as an instructor, my first instructor writing, and she told me that I could do it.
That's so good. I'm going to read what she wrote, but I do want to mention as you were talking that telling our story, that story, your story, um, the words that the way that you felt about her writing, it's just so profound because when you were reading aloud, and I've read some of the work that you've put in these two books, it's the same. It's just astounding to read your poetry, to read your words and feel the same thing that you felt by reading hers. I mean,
Oh,
this
thank
stuff,
you.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
just so
That's
neat.
a thrill for me to hear
But
that from a
it's
reader.
so cool because, right, as you were saying that, I was like, that's how I feel listening to you to read your work and reading some of the poetry in here. So I think that's really neat. What Abigail Thomas had to say about all parameters are estimable was read, marvel, and learn from the all seeing poems of Martha de la Garza Fowler, with the wisdom of her heritage, granddaughter of the trees. You will be uplifted, turned around, and emerge changed.
Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you, Abigail. Thank you, Martha,
Thank
again, for being willing to put yourself out there in ways that most people only dream of. Or they go all the way to writing and then they never publish their work. They never give people an opportunity to feel the words that you wrote from your heart. So as a book coach, as a publisher, as a human being that is always looking through a lens of love and light through the universe, these books are magical. So
thank
I
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there any last words that you might have for the listeners that really get a chance and an opportunity to watch this video?
Well, you can always get hold of me if you want to message me. I have a website, which is dogwooddaughter.com, and you can email me there. The email address is dogwooddaughter@dogwooddaughter.com.
Beautiful. Well, I thank you for giving me an opportunity to interview you and get to move a little deeper, a little closer into the why behind these two beautiful books. And I know that the audience will feel the same. So thank you for sharing yourself in this way. And we look forward to hearing much more from you. Perhaps we'll get some recordings and some videos and some shares of you reading more of the beautiful work that you have put in these two phenomenal books right here. So go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, look in the show notes below, get the links, go to the email address, or I'm sorry, the web address that Martha just shared with you. Connect with her, share your thoughts, right? It's important. I always like to say sharing is caring. So thank you all for listening, and look forward to sharing more in the future. Bye for now, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.